Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. I hope you had a wonderful week. This week's video is dedicated to Nechama Bas Chai Rivka, have a refuah shlema b'karev. This week's Parsha, Haftaras Pekudai, we read about the building of the Mishkan, and in this week's Haftarah, we read about King Solomon's building of the temple. It's a continuation actually from last week's Haftarah, and the building of the temple finally culminates with the grand finale of Solomon bringing in the Holy Ark into the Holy of Holies, into the temple. And once that happened, the entire temple filled with smoke, like the verse says, Ki ba'anan era ela kaparis, because through a cloud I will appear on the kaparis. The kaparis was the top part of the ark itself. And like that, all the people knew that Hashem's presence was there, and it was incredible bliss, incredible happiness, incredible joy for everybody. Something that we yearn for, and one of our favorite subjects, hopefully everyone's favorite subject, certainly my favorite subject, and that is Hashem's presence amongst us. And we have to know that this was Hashem's chief purpose from the time that he created the world. That, as the verse says in Genesis, it says, and the Spirit of God hovered upon the face of the waters. It says this, as it says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Why does it have to tell us about the Spirit of God moving upon the face of the waters? What does that have to do with the creation? And the answer is, that was the entire purpose of the creation, that Hashem should find a spot to be able to hover, or be rather, on earth. Right now it was hovering because it didn't have a place where to actually land solidly. It was waiting for people that would be holy enough, a nation that would be holy enough, a time that would be holy enough. And when the Mishkan was built during the times of Moses, they were holy. But then finally an everlasting building was hoped to be built. King Solomon built what he hoped would be an everlasting building. Unfortunately, was destroyed. The second temple was also destroyed, but hopefully the third temple will never be destroyed. And the idea that I want to share with you is, we have to know that Hashem is interested in being with us. And many of the holy books write why it is that Hashem wants to be with us. What does it mean that Hashem wants to be? That Hashem doesn't have any wants. He doesn't have any desires. He doesn't have any needs. So what does it mean he wants to be amongst us? So in very short, we don't really know the answer to this question. Because as much as we could say, it's kind of opening up a Pandora's box. It just leads to other questions. But the only thing that we know is the facts that we actually have at hand, that Hashem tells us in His Torah that is His chief interest, and that is what He's interested in. He wants it to be a unity between us and Him. And we have to know that it's not a cop-out answer that we don't know the reason. We have to know that it's actually the key ingredient in our relationship with Hashem. Our key ingredient in our relationship with Hashem is not knowing why it is that Hashem does that, for two reasons. I hope I remember both of them. But the first reason is because that's what makes Him God. If we understood everything that Hashem did, so we're kind of godlike, and who is God? But what makes Him God is that His understanding is way beyond understanding. His ways are way beyond our ways. And that's very important in our relationship. We have to remember He is God and we're not. And the only way for us to have success is to trust in Hashem and to realize that everything that Hashem does is for a purpose that's beyond our imagination. I don't remember reason number 2. Okay, I'm going to try to remember it, but I don't think I will. But be that as it may, this is the main point that I want to share with you. That we have to realize our chief function, our chief goal, Hashem's chief goal was making sure that He's here. Our main job is to try to internalize Hashem as much as possible. And part of internalizing Hashem is Ani Mamin be'emunah shalema. I believe in everything that Hashem does is for the best. I believe that everything that Hashem does has a plan, has a purpose, whether it's for this world, whether people have been reincarnated, whether all the bad things that have happened to people, whether all the good things that have happened to good people, to bad people. Everything is part of one big, massive plan. Hashem knows everything that He's doing. And our job is to believe in everything that He does and have trust in everything that Hashem does, because Hashem is a loving Father beyond anything that we could imagine. And one day soon, when the third temple will be rebuilt, we will hopefully be enlightened and see the amazingness of Hashem's ways. Have a great Shabbos. Introduce Hashem into your own hearts, into your own minds. Like that, you'll also get a little taste. Tamuru'u kitov Hashem. Taste, and you will see that Hashem is good. May we only merit that as soon as possible. Have a great Shabbos. Thank you for listening.